Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Taking a quick look here at Bitcoin, seeing what's going on, of course. We're going to double check a few key factors, some backend data I think that's super relevant and important to recognize, and just kind of see, well, what might happen next. Is this a big fake out or are we back on track? Truth is, we got this pretty strong resistance level from before here, back from January 12th up towards the 17th before the price dumped again. 43,500 is a close approximate for the immediate resistance level. Just to throw in some backend data here, let's go and refresh this. We're going to look at the monthly, 7-day, and the 12-hour just to get perspective. And if we zoom in a little bit here, we can kind of see here there's a strong accumulation between 43,800 and 44,200. So 45K might be a little high, but generally speaking, the 44,000 range has a lot of liquidation that is fairly well dated. Okay, so this liquidation comes all the way back from January 13th, roughly. Okay. So that's kind of where we're at there on the monthly. If we take a quick look at the daily, this is more so the 7-day look back. We can kind of see heavy concentrations in both areas here. So just to clarify, 38.5 is that key level there with a lot of longs are hedged there in the last 7 days. We can also see heavy accumulation about 44,000 as low as 43. So 43 to 44 is a pretty heavy range there of liquidation that could get swept. We take a look closer at the last 12 hours. Again, this is a little less impactful, but still relevant. We can note that we have a strong accumulation at 43,400 to 43.5. So my speculation here is if we hit the 43.5 mark, we could see a short-term reversal. Not sure how large it's going to be, but we could very well see the price pull back. It would make sense considering, this is just that little initial pump. But we want to double check a few things too, because there's a lot of money coming into this coin, and we're going to verify that as well. So if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, I love teaching people to trade. Welcome aboard if you are newish here. And if you've been around for a while, thank you so much for watching. Congrats again to our community members here. We took some nice profits from Chainlink there, 20% yesterday. And then, of course, 55% there as well. Our premium bot's going pretty crazy here in a lot of good ways. I know you see a stop loss. Oh my God, 12%. Not that bad. We got 13, 7, 7, 6, 5, 5. A lot of winning trades here. Again, I would say 5 out of 6 will hit their targets, generally speaking. So really cool stuff there. If you're more of a day trader, maybe check that out because it's a good consideration. It's a day trading bot that I have that uses my day trading strategy to find good entries. So we're going to take a look here at the daily time frame, work our way down, kind of see what's going on. So daily time frame. Let's before we do this, actually, let's preface and look at Bitcoin dominance. It's slowly on the increase, but coincidentally, a lot of alts are increasing too. Okay, so this isn't a magnificent movement, don't get me wrong, 0.25% isn't a large movement. So just be mindful that if Bitcoin can continue to stabilize or increase, we could see some altcoins start to come down. I'm not claiming that's the situation yet, but if we do see Bitcoin not hold this 43 to 42.5 level, we'll probably see dominance increase and alts start to come down. Again, alts, the profits from altcoins goes back into Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin dominance increases, because the general consensus is to sell what's profitable and put it back into Bitcoin. It's kind of a circle or a cycle. If we take a look at CME gaps, I didn't look at this yet. I don't think we have any, which is good. Previous gaps have been filled. Tentatively worked as a support level, that 39,000 range, that low 39K range. And if we take a look here at the daily, let's go ahead and work our way down. Actually, let's work our way down for the weekly first, okay? Because we did close on a weekly candle here so far. And just to clarify, still bullish in the overall sense of things. Stochastic is swinging down, but it's not as massive as you might think. So in other words, once that starts to taper off, we could see that shift in momentum. It does imply, though, that we could see further downside. So just generally speaking, that's not a phenomenal sign, but being under 70, above 50, still bullish. But with us kind of coming down here, getting rejected off of 70 so far, we could see the price come down as well. Okay, that in addition to the MACD trying to diverge but hasn't fully yet. A lot of reasons why there's speculation that we could see the 38 to 34,000 range again. I personally welcome it. I've got a ton of limit orders down, sub 40K, but again, not everyone subscribes to that thought process. If you're not buying spot, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Good luck on that. It's kind of just like a retirement plan, Again, I know it's easier said than done, but please just continue to add to your spot bag if and whenever possible. The price may never come back. I mean, I think 40,000 will be a thing of the past in the future, and we will never see that again. I mean, Bitcoin supply is running out. There's a lot of reasons why the price should increase, especially with Bitcoin being somewhere in the range of 84 days away, somewhere in that. Okay, anyways, we're not here for that. We're here for some TA. So let's look at this here. Daily time frame. We are now tentatively above 43,000. I'm going to round up and say 43K for the 50-day SMA on the daily. That's a big deal. Okay. Now, again, we haven't closed yet, so we don't want to prematurely say that we're above it, but in 7 hours, we close above that level. We could have a solid consideration for further upside. Okay, so to me, just generally speaking, 43K is a pretty big deal to be able to close above that level. Keep in mind, we got to get above this most recent resistance at roughly 43.5. But if you look at the daily candlestick closures, we're getting close. 43.2 would be good as well. So all the more reason just to kind of close where we're at or higher today to be able to have some more confidence in the price going up. Because again, the reason why that's beneficial, because it shows the last 24 hours, the bulls have been fully in control. Okay. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean the price cannot turn itself around. It's just less likely when you have such a strong candle and a lot of volume flowing into the coin. We'll look at volume on smaller timeframes to identify because it doesn't really show us too well on the smaller timeframes. But you got to keep in mind we have more volume today than yesterday, albeit yesterday was a holiday, or sorry, a weekend rather. But the truth is right now we can see the volume is increasing. We still got 7 hours left, and that's a positive sign. Okay. Furthermore, we got a MACD convergence that's also extremely beneficial. RSI up over 50 for the first time in, what is it? How many days would that be? That's roughly 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, somewhere in that range. But keep in mind, liquidation, all the liquidation levels are like right in this range here based on the price action, not the RSI. But again, January 12th, when the price pulled back, that's where a lot of resistances are formed based on previous price points. I'll explain what I mean by that here in a minute, but the general consensus here is that we're looking pretty good. We just need money flow index to be a little bit higher, and we should be able to sustain this price action. Keep in mind, too, we're kind of moving within our average true range of this coin. And when I say average true range, it's not this true average true range. That's a different calculation. But the truth here is that, volume over the last, month and a half-ish, we can see here that we are in a situation where we're right there at that support. Okay, so again, closing at 43K or higher would really allow for us to understand that we're on the right side of the tracks again, at least within reason, okay? But again, being above all moving averages for the moment is extremely beneficial, so the daily time frame is looking fairly bullish. This is basically what we're looking for to be able to confirm within reason this uptrend. Now, when I say confirm within reason, we really need to be above 43.5, maybe even 44K to be on the safe side, because we'd be officially establishing higher highs outside this most recent rejection zone. So to me, we're still a little premature here, but we're on the edge of greatness or potential disaster. I hate to laugh at that, but that's really the way it is right now. I mean, truth is, as bullish as the daily time frame is looking right now, there's still a lot of resistances in place. Okay, so now that we understand generally the back end data with liquidation, where that's at, we can kind of recognize here that these are more than likely liquidity sweeps. So we'll see if we can find this here. You can double check here. He has his previous level liquidity up to about 43.6 from, again, that January 12th through the 16th range. We can see fair values are all over the place, but nothing really super telling at this moment. Let's go ahead and double check a couple things here again with the moving averages. This is another reason why closing where we're at or higher is important. 43K or up is great, because if we take a look at this 200-day SMA, that's notoriously a very strong trendsetter. Getting above that, typically the first attempt is less likely, but if we close above that, not just on one 4-hour candle, but for multiple candles, then we're going to be in a really good position here because we'd be above all 4 moving averages. We'd be honoring this ascending trend, which we can go ahead and extend out a little bit further here and just kind of pay close attention to it to see roughly where we're at here, okay? Because again, it's not an exact science, but generally speaking, we're ascending, we're making higher highs and effectively higher lows at this point. You could argue that this is a type of bull flag pattern. I think it's more likely to be so, but you could also, argue it's a wedge pattern too, depending on how you draw it out, right? So again, some false positives there, but for the most part, MACD converging here for the second time. It carries more strength the second time it does that. And stochastic swinging up with the money flow index higher than the RSI on the 4-hour. Those are all things that I see as very positive contributing factors. Could the price of Bitcoin pull back? Yes, totally can and probably will. But we got to kind of ensure that we stay above certain levels, because we would invalidate this trend if the price breaks down too low, right? We don't want to come back down to 42K or lower. That would, I think, invalidate things and confirm that we might be heading back down again. Could be just another fake out. You never truly know. These whales are very crafty, because they love destroying high leverage positions. So let's double check this here really quick. This is a very positive contributing factor. We're above the cloud. We broke free from it. So essentially, you're not saying you want to buy right now per se for a long position, but it is telling us that we have confirming factors. So all 3 indicators here on the Ichimoku cloud are giving us that the green light to essentially consider a long position or to leave the long position open. Okay. Now we don't have a long position open with Bitcoin. We do with Solana and Chainlink. So hypothetically, those could be left open, but you do got to recognize two alts will be the first ones to bleed if Bitcoin pulls back, just based on that Bitcoin dominance scenario. So what does it all do for us here? Well, it just tells us that we're in pretty good shape. So to me, if we can just stay range bound between 42.5 and 43.5, I think we're inevitably going to be able to progress higher as long as we can continue this ascending trend and stay above those moving averages. If we drop below some of those and then we start losing the cloud and a handful of other factors, then we're going to be in a situation where the price action will need to pull back. So all those kind of that keep prompting me to hey, when's the next signal going to be sent out? I know there's tons of opportunity in the market, but there's a lot of missed opportunities too, and I'm glad that we held strong with our longs and that we're in good shape there. We didn't consider a short too prematurely. Okay. I will say that shorts are becoming more attractive at this point, and we could very well have some success shorting at the 44K range, but that would also invalidate the descending trend and essentially confirm that we've moved through that point of contact, that average true range, which we're tentatively above right now, but more importantly, breaking through that most recent resistance since January 12th. So those are things that I think are extremely important here. Do I see extra liquidity here that should be swept? Yeah, I think 44K is almost an inevitability at this point, just based on how things are shaping up. But on the same accord, we got to give it time and room to breathe. So be careful with taking a bunch of longs. I know we're in a situation right now where it's like, I feel like I missed out on so much. And if you want to take some trades yourself, by all means, just low leverage, low position size, because this market, it's crazy. But part of me still feels like this is a fake out. But I just don't want to take any significant trades without confirmation. So I'm sure there's going to be some confirming factors in a lot of altcoins today, which is a good sign, and we could consider that. But I would just recommend exercising some caution in this scenario. It does seem too good to be true in a lot of ways, and that's it's a little bit of a bother for me. So anyways, that's the data. That's where we're at here so far. Make your own decision based on your own risk tolerance, as I teach in my trading university. And if you're currently part of our community, thank you so much for the awesome feedback. It's cool to be able to just hang out and chat with some awesome traders across the globe. So if you want that for yourself, cryptocash.tech is a site link down below. Make sure you check out Bitunix, phenomenal exchange. We're using this as a community with great regard. They have awesome leverage options, no KYC or VPN. Be sure to check them out. We'll have some trading competitions here in the relative near future. Thanks again so much for watching. We hope you have a great rest of your day. See you in the next one. Take care.